I still remember the sound of Isabel Taylor crying in my kitchen, not loudly, not dramatically, just quietly, like someone who had finally run out of ways to pretend. She placed an envelope on the table and pushed it toward me. "I should have told you years ago," she said. I looked at the envelope but did not touch it, because deep down, I already knew it was connected to the nights when she stopped sleeping, the strange excuses, and the one name she whispered when she thought nobody was listening. My first thought was that Isabel had betrayed me. My second thought was worse. Maybe I had been helping her hide the truth without even knowing it. For years, I believed I understood my closest friend. I was wrong. Isabel and I had been friends for almost 15 years. We met when both of us were going through difficult periods in our lives. I was rebuilding myself after losing a relationship that I thought would last forever. Isabel was trying to escape a version of herself she never talked about. She was funny, generous, and the kind of person who remembered tiny details about everyone. She knew when someone was pretending to be okay. The irony was that she became an expert at pretending herself. I always admired one thing about Isabel. She never gave up on people. Even when someone made mistakes, she believed they deserved another chance. Maybe that was why I ignored the warning signs. The first strange thing was completely ordinary. She started canceling plans. Not once, not twice, constantly. "Sorry, I barely slept," she would say. At first I believed her. Everyone has stressful periods. Everyone has bad weeks. But then I noticed something. She was tired, but she was not just tired. She looked afraid. There is a difference. One evening we were supposed to meet for dinner. She arrived almost an hour late. When she sat down, her phone immediately went face down on the table. "You okay?" I asked. She smiled too quickly. "Of course." I looked at her. "You know you are terrible at lying, right?" For a second, the smile disappeared. Then she laughed. "I'm just exhausted." That answer stayed with me because it explained nothing. Over the next few weeks, small things started connecting. Missing calls, unusual mood changes, long pauses before simple answers. Everyone around Isabel created their own explanation. Her family thought she was overwhelmed at work. Another friend thought she was dealing with relationship problems. I thought maybe she was hiding some painful personal situation. Everyone had a theory. Nobody had the full picture. Then I noticed the name. It happened accidentally. We were having coffee when Isabel received a message. She looked at the screen. The color disappeared from her face. I only saw one word before she turned the phone away. "Marcus." I asked, "Who is Marcus?" She answered too quickly, "Nobody." That was the moment I knew it was not nobody. People do not react like that to nobody. A few days later, I asked her directly, "Is someone threatening you?" She became defensive. "No." "Then why do you look scared every time that name appears?" She looked away. I made a mistake. Those words confused me. A mistake? What kind of mistake causes someone to stop sleeping? What kind of mistake follows someone for months? I thought I was close to discovering the truth. I was wrong again. The first real clue came when I found out Isabel had been visiting a place across town several times a week. A small office building. Nothing special. When I asked her about it, she froze. "I have things to handle." "What things?" "Things I should have handled a long time ago." That answer only created more questions. A week later, I found the envelope, not because I was searching, because Isabel left it behind after visiting my apartment. Inside were payment records, thousands of dollars, repeated withdrawals, and one word appearing again and again, bet. I felt sick, not because of the money, because suddenly every strange moment made sense. The sleepless nights, the panic, the secrecy. Isabel had a gambling addiction, but even then, I did not understand the entire story. I confronted her the next day. She did not deny it. She just sat there silently. "How long?" I asked. She looked at her hands. 3 years. 3 years. I thought about every conversation we had, every time she said she was fine, every time I believed her. "Why didn't you tell me?" Her answer was almost impossible to hear. "Because you were the person I was most afraid of disappointing." That sentence changed something inside me. Because anger is easy, but seeing someone you care about ashamed is different. I asked her why it started. She told me about the period after her life fell apart. She lost someone she loved. She felt empty. At first, gambling was just distraction. Then it became excitement. Then it became the only time she felt something. The money disappeared slowly. The problem grew quietly. And by the time she wanted to stop, she was no longer controlling it. It was controlling her. But then came the twist I never expected. Marcus was not a person who was chasing her for money. He was the person helping her recover. He worked with a support group. The messages were about meetings and repayments. The person I thought was part of the problem was actually part of the solution. But another truth remained hidden. The money Isabel lost was not only hers. Years earlier, she had borrowed money from a family account that she was trusted to manage. She never intended to steal it. She believed she could win it back before anyone noticed. She was wrong. The guilt was what destroyed her. She was not only fighting an addiction, she was fighting the fear that everyone she loved would see her differently forever. I asked her one question: why tell me now? She looked at me for a long time. Because I finally realized that hiding the damage was causing more damage. That night, I stayed with her. Not because everything was fixed. It was not. There were consequences waiting, hard conversations, broken trust, people who would be angry. But for the first time, Isabel stopped running. Months passed. Recovery was not dramatic. There were no perfect moments. Some days were good, some days were difficult. She apologized to the people she hurt. Some forgave her quickly, others needed time. I was one of those people. I cared about Isabel, but I also had to accept that love and trust were not the same thing. 1 year after the confession, she invited me to dinner. The same person who once hid every problem was now sitting across from me telling the truth before anyone asked. She looked different, not happier exactly, more honest. Before I left, she gave me another envelope. I almost laughed. Another secret? She smiled sadly. No, something I should have given you earlier. Inside was a letter. She had written it the night she almost gave up. In it, she thanked me for believing there was still a person behind her worst mistake. But the last sentence was the one I remembered. I don't know if everyone will forgive me. I don't even know if I forgive myself yet, but I finally stopped running. I still do not know how Isabel's story ends. Maybe some things are never completely repaired. Maybe some damage leaves a mark forever. But I know this. The friend I thought I lost was not gone. She was buried under years of fear, shame, and silence. And sometimes the hardest part of a second chance is accepting that it does not erase what happened. It only gives you the courage to face it. There was one conversation I never forgot. It happened months after Isabel started rebuilding her life. We were sitting outside a small cafe where we used to meet before everything changed. She looked at the street for a long time and said, "Do you ever think about who I was before you knew?" I told her the truth. "Yes." She nodded. "I think about her too." For a moment, I expected sadness. Instead, there was something else: acceptance. She explained that for years she had separated herself into two people: the person everyone loved and the person she was ashamed of becoming. The gambling was not only about money, it was about escaping the moment when she had to admit she was no longer the person she wanted to be. That was the part nobody saw. People saw the missing money, the lies, the broken promises, but behind all of it was someone terrified of admitting she needed help. I asked her if she believed she deserved another chance. She looked down. "I don't know." That answer was more honest than anything she had ever told me. Maybe second chances are not something people suddenly feel worthy of. Maybe they are something people slowly prove they can carry. I still talk to Isabel. Things are different. They probably always will be. Some memories cannot return to the way they were before, but every once in a while, I notice something small. She tells the truth even when it makes her uncomfortable. She asks for help before things become impossible. She no longer disappears when life becomes painful. And maybe that is the biggest change. Not that she became a different person, but that she finally stopped hiding the person she was. The envelope she gave me is still in my desk. I never throw it away, not because I want to remember the damage, because I want to remember the moment someone finally chose to stop running. And even now, I still wonder if that was the real apology, not the words she said, not the letter, but the decision to finally face everything she spent years trying to escape.